Reborn as a vending machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon, adapted from Harukima's light novel, returns for its second season in July 2025, continuing its audacious blend of isekai fantasy and absurdist comedy. Episode 1, titled Back with a Bang, aired on July 2, 2025, picking up immediately after Season 1's cliffhanger in the Dead's Lament Stratum. This episode dives into the aftermath of a demon army's attack on the Clearflow Lake settlement, focusing on Boxo, the sentient vending machine, and his allies as they rally to save survivors. I found myself grinning at the episode's unapologetic absurdity, yet mildly frustrated by its predictable beats, leaving me curious if this quirky series can sustain its charm amid escalating stakes. Following Season 1's finale, where Boxo, Lammies, and their party defeated a dungeon boss only to learn of an attack on their home village, Episode 1 opens with the group rushing back to find Clearflow Lake in ruins. Buildings are destroyed, and survivors are barricaded in the Hunters Guild. Boxo, carried by the super-strong Lammies, transforms into an 18-meter maritime ice dispenser to combat demon beasts, while Hulami, a new ally, strategizes with the group. The episode introduces Hebui and Kikoyu, two survivors with mysterious motives, and ends with Boxo's upgraded communication ability hinting at future teamwork. The immediate crisis is resolved, but the demon army's threat looms. Episode 1 advances the Demon Lord arc by depicting the aftermath of the Clearflow Lake attack, establishing a high-stakes conflict against the Demon Lord's forces. The introduction of Hebui and Kikoyu as potential allies or complications is a turning point, while Boxo's transformation into a massive ice dispenser showcases his evolving abilities. The episode resolves the immediate threat to the survivors but raises questions about the Demon Lord's plans and the newcomers' roles. I think it effectively reintroduces the series stakes, but its reliance on familiar isekai tropes, village destruction, last stand defense, feels predictable. The pacing is brisk, packing action and introductions into 24 minutes, but I personally don't understand why it rushes the emotional weight of the village's devastation, which could have deepened the narrative. Boxo, Lammies, and Hulami are central, with Hebui and Kikoyu as new additions. Boxo, voiced by Jun Fukuyama, remains a resourceful oddity, his new ability to string vending machine phrases into sentences, e.g., welcome, too bad, get one free, revealing a desire for connection despite his mechanical limits. Lammies' emotional turmoil, seen in her trembling hands while rescuing survivors, hints at guilt over leaving the village undefended, though this is underexplored. Hulami's analytical mind shines when she coordinates traps, but her role feels functional. Hebui and Kikoyu, voiced by Yoshitsugu Matsuoka and Ri Takahashi, bring enigmatic energy, with Hebui's sly grin and Kikoyu's cryptic warnings suggesting hidden agendas. I really appreciate Boxo's creative evolution, but I'm against the minimal focus on Lammies' inner conflict, which could have added depth. The character's actions are consistent, but growth is limited to Boxo's communication upgrade. The episode explores themes of resilience, ingenuity, and community in crisis. Boxo's transformation into an ice dispenser to freeze demon beasts reflects the power of creative problem-solving, while Lammies' determination to protect survivors underscores communal bonds. The demon army's attack introduces a theme of external threats testing unity, with the survivors' barricades symbolizing collective defiance. I think these themes are conveyed through the group's teamwork, but the comedic tone, Boxo's quips during battle, dilutes the crisis's gravity. I also anticipate the series will delve deeper into the tension between individual limitations and collective strength. I don't think the episode fully capitalizes on its themes, as the absurd premise overshadows emotional resonance. The episode expands the dungeon world by detailing the Demon Lord's influence, with the attack revealing his army's reach beyond the labyrinth. Clearflow Lake's ruins, with crumbling stone structures and scattered debris, ground the fantasy setting in tangible loss. The introduction of Hebui and Kikoyu hints at new factions or rogue elements, while Boxo's maritime ice dispenser suggests his abilities draw from real-world vending machine diversity, a quirky nod to Japanese culture. I think this enriches the world's scope, but the lack of context for the Demon Lord's motives feels vague. I hope future episodes clarify the political and magical systems to anchor the escalating conflict. The dialogue is playful but repetitive. Boxo's synthesized phrases, like, too bad winner, during combat, are amusing and inventive, reflecting his growth, but overused gags wear thin. Lammies' heartfelt plea to save the survivors is poignant, but Hulami's technical jargon feels expository. Hebui's sly remarks, like his teasing of Boxo's charm, add intrigue, but Kikoyu's cryptic warnings verge on cliché. I didn't like how the dialogue leans on comedic catchphrases at the expense of deeper exchanges. The writing excels in action, with Boxo's ice dispensing strategy a creative highlight, but the rushed resolution of the battle weakens its stakes. The script is engaging but prioritizes humor humor over substance, a choice I personally don't understand given the narrative's potential. Studio Gokumi and Ace deliver serviceable animation, with fluid action in the ice dispenser battle, where Boxo's massive form towers over demon beasts. The art style, faithful to Yuki Hagyur's designs, maintains a colorful, generic fantasy aesthetic, with Lammy's expressive eyes and Hyolami's sharp features standing out. The ruined village, with its smoky rubble, is a visually striking moment, though background details like generic demon beasts feel simplistic. I noticed occasional frame stuttering in crowd scenes, a minor flaw that detracts from immersion. The quality is consistent but unremarkable, and I'm against the lack of visual flair compared to Season 1's quirky charm. Episode 1 evokes amusement, excitement, and mild disappointment. The ice dispenser battle sparked joy with its sheer absurdity, while Lammy's distress over the village stirred empathy. The most impactful moment is Boxo's first attempt to say Lammy's name, a surprisingly touching beat that lingered for its sincerity. The episode leaves a fun, if fleeting, impression, prompting reflection on how limitations can inspire ingenuity. I found myself entertained but wanting more emotional depth, as the comedic excess overshadowed the crisis's weight. The major philosophical lesson is the power of adaptation in adversity. Boxo's transformation into an ice dispenser to save the village reflects how constraints can fuel creativity, while the group's teamwork underscores the strength of community in crisis. The episode suggests that even the most absurd circumstances can yield meaningful contributions, a reminder to embrace one's unique strengths. Episode 1 of Reborn as a vending machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon Season 2 is a whimsical, action-packed return, excelling in its absurd premise, Fukuyama's charming performance, and creative use of Boxo's abilities. Its strengths lie in the ice dispenser battle, the vibrant opening, and Boxo's communication upgrade. However, predictable tropes, rushed pacing, and underexplored emotional beats temper its impact. I think the episode succeeds in rekindling the series' quirky charm, but struggles to deepen its stakes or characters. I anticipate the season will thrive if it balances humor with heartfelt moments and clarifies the Demon Lord's threat. For now, Episode 1 is a delightful, flawed kickoff that keeps me hooked for more vending machine shenanigans. Reborn as a vending machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon, adapted from Harukima's light novel, continues its second season in July 2025, embracing its unique blend of isekai absurdity and heartfelt camaraderie within the Demon Lord arc. Episode 2, titled Vending Valor, aired on July 9, 2025, building on the premiere's chaotic rescue of Clearflow Lake. This episode focuses on Boxo, the sentient vending machine, and his allies as they explore the Dead's Lament stratum to uncover the demon army's origins. I found myself chuckling at the episode's whimsical creativity, yet mildly frustrated by its predictable structure, leaving me eager to see if the series can balance its humor with deeper stakes. Following Episode 1's defense of Clearflow Lake, where Boxo transformed into a maritime ice dispenser to save survivors, Episode 2 sees the group, Boxo, Lammy's, Hyolami, Hebui, and Kikoyu, venturing into the Dead's Lament stratum to investigate the demon army's source. They encounter a labyrinthine market overrun by skeletal merchants, where Boxo's new food dispensing abilities sustain the party. A confrontation with a demon scout reveals Kikoyu's combat prowess and cryptic past. The episode ends with the group discovering a sealed gate, hinting at a larger demonic threat, while Boxo's upgraded communication fosters deeper bonds. Episode 2 advances the Demon Lord arc by shifting focus from Clearflow Lake's recovery to proactive exploration of the dungeon, marking a narrative pivot toward uncovering the Demon Lord's plans. The discovery of the sealed gate is a turning point, suggesting a hidden fortress or ritual site, while Kikoyu's revelation as a former demon soldier raises questions about her loyalties. The episode partially resolves the immediate threat of the scout but leaves the gate's purpose and the Demon Lord's motives unclear. I think it effectively builds momentum, but its episodic structure, market exploration, skirmish, discovery, feels formulaic, echoing Season 1's dungeon crawls. The pacing is balanced, blending action and humor, though I personally don't understand why the gate's reveal wasn't given more build-up to heighten its mystery. Boxo, Lammy's, Kikoyu, and Hyolami are central, with Hebui as a supporting player. Boxo's evolving abilities, now dispensing ramen and cola, reflect his growing utility, while his improved speech, "Welcome, friend, stay strong," shows a desire to connect emotionally, seen when he comforts Lammy's. Lammy's determination shines as she carries Boxo through the market, but her fleeting guilt over the village's destruction, expressed in a quiet apology, remains underexplored. Kikoyu's combat skills and admission of her demonic past reveal a conflicted nature, adding intrigue. Hyolami's strategic planning, like using Boxo's food to barter with skeletons, is consistent but lacks depth. I really appreciate Kikoyu's layered introduction, but I'm against the minimal growth for Lammy. Lammys, whose emotional arc feels stalled. The characters' actions align with their traits, with Boxo and Kikoyu showing subtle evolution. The episode explores themes of trust, adaptability, and the power of sustenance in adversity. Boxo's food dispensing fosters trust among the party, symbolized by their shared meal in the market, while Kikoyu's past tests the group's willingness to accept her. The skeletal market reflects a theme of survival through commerce, paralleling Boxo's role as a provider. The sealed gate introduces the theme of confronting the unknown, tying into the Demon Lord's looming threat. I think these themes are conveyed through the group's teamwork and Boxo's utility, but the comedic tone, skeletons haggling over ramen, dilutes their weight. I also anticipate the series will delve deeper into trust's fragility, especially with Kikoyu's secrets. I don't think the episode fully explores its themes, as humor overshadows emotional depth. The Dead's Lament Stratum expands the dungeon's lore, introducing a market run by sentient skeletons who trade goods in a post-apocalyptic economy, adding a quirky layer to the world's magical realism. Kikoyu's demonic past hints at a broader conflict between humans and demons, while the sealed gate suggests a fortified stronghold tied to the Demon Lord. Boxo's new food dispensing functions, rooted in Japanese vending machine culture, ground the fantasy in real-world eccentricity. I think these elements enrich the world's bizarre charm, but the lack of context for the gate's significance feels vague. I hope future episodes clarify the Demon Lord's hierarchy and the dungeon's mechanics to avoid arbitrariness. The dialogue is playful and inventive, with Boxo's synthesized phrases, like ramen hot together, adding humor and heart. Lammy's earnest encouragement, such as, "We'll get through this, Boxo," is sincere, but her repetitive optimism feels flat. Kikoyu's cryptic warning about the gate, delivered with quiet intensity, adds intrigue, though Hebwe's snarky quips verge on cliché. I didn't like how the skeleton's haggling leans on generic merchant tropes, lacking nuance. The writing shines in action, with Boxo's ramen-fueled strategy a creative highlight, but the scout battle's quick resolution feels anticlimactic. The script is engaging but prioritizes gags over narrative depth, a choice I personally don't understand given the arc's potential. Studio Gokumi and Ace deliver vibrant animation, particularly in the market skirmish, where Kikoyu's fluid swordplay against the Demon Scout is rendered with dynamic precision. The art style, faithful to Yuki Hagyur's designs, maintains a colorful fantasy aesthetic, with the skeletal market's eerie glow and cluttered stalls standing out. A visually striking moment occurs when Boxo dispenses steaming ramen, the golden broth contrasting the dungeon's gloom. However, background skeletons have simplistic designs, and I noticed minor frame drops in crowd scenes. The quality is consistent but lacks the flair of Season 1's standout moments, a downgrade I'm against. Episode 2 evokes amusement, excitement, and mild curiosity. The market's absurdity, with skeletons bartering for cola, sparked laughter, while Kikoyu's cryptic past stirred intrigue. The most impactful moment is Boxo's attempt to comfort Lammy's with his new speech, a touching beat that lingered for its sincerity. The episode leaves a fun impression but lacks emotional weight, prompting reflection on how small acts of care can unify a group. I found myself entertained but craving deeper character moments to anchor the humor. The major philosophical lesson is the strength of trust in uncertain times. Boxo's role as a provider and Kikoyu's reluctant openness highlight how trust, even in a bizarre world, fosters resilience. The episode suggests that shared vulnerability, Boxo's speech, Kikoyu's confession, builds bonds that defy chaos, a reminder to embrace connection amid adversity. Episode 2 of Reborn as a vending machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon Season 2 is a charming, action-packed continuation, excelling in its whimsical premise, Fukuyama and Takahashi's standout performances, and creative use of Boxo's abilities. Its strengths lie in the market's quirky design, Kikoyu's intriguing debut, and the vibrant opening. However, predictable tropes, rushed pacing, and shallow emotional exploration temper its impact. I think the episode succeeds in advancing the Demon Lord arc, but struggles to deepen character arcs or stakes. I anticipate the series will thrive if it balances its humor with heartfelt growth and clarifies the demonic threat. For now, Episode 2 is a delightful, flawed romp that keeps me hooked for more vending machine adventures.